people enthusiastic about the roundtable, and it's actually a week with it's a bit slow for news.
Always the
Well,
case.
it's not, and it is at the same time. It's not the exciting stuff people want to hear about. Well, it is.
It's exciting.
I know it's exciting, but it's not exciting. Well, it might be.
Could be.
Hmm.
There we go. It's 2 minutes past. We're on the clock. We got a cube as well. Wow. Hi, Cube. Are you in my chat, Cube? Talk to me, Cube.
And he's typing.
Ah,
Ice Cube.
there you go. You can't speak yet. That's what I mean.
You don't.
But Cube might want to speak this week, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, you will.
Well, don't scream. You don't be doing that.
Cable
It's not
wants
going
to
to
tell
work,
us
is it?
about all the exciting things that are going to happen. Shall we kick off?
We shall. So,
Actually, don't kick off. I can't deal with it right now.
harsh.
Let's just do the roundtable.
Harsh. Okay. Well, welcome to Roundtable 67 then. 67, we're getting old. General chat has been recorded for YouTube, so say hi to YouTube. Remember, we're in the right chat channel this week. We'll get it right. We will. 67,
No.
Tom. 67. You remember number 1?
Oh no.
There we go. Hellos to YouTube. Maintenance tomorrow, 9 a.m. as usual, which will bring in a host of changes, which we'll go over in a little minute. Thank you for joining. Let's get on to some juicy news. The first thing you're going to notice then is obviously we've been talking recruitment for about 2 weeks now. You will notice a big bunch of new mods. So say hi to your new mods. A lot of them are in the room with us at the moment. If not, leave them a comment on YouTube so they can feel loved.
Who are our new mods? Do enlighten me. What is this? Who are
these people? So
yes.
from the start, we have Lady
And this
Tula.
is this any particular order?
This is no
we
particular order other than those that would beat my ass if I didn't say so first. So, Lady Tula, congratulations. Chris/Abigan, also blue now. Probalomalomalom, also blue. Scorp, and then we have the ever popular Baki-chan/Twerkules. So all of those guys now are mods. I was about to say blue ninjas. I really wanted to, but now they're mods. So these guys are going to be responsible for keeping your chat safe and sound and snuggly. They're going to be responsible for keeping an eye on the Rust guys that will be coming soon and making sure things are not getting out of hand, because obviously people have expressed some concerns that we're bringing in a totally different audience. So these guys are going to be on top of things, and they have powers to mute and generally escalate things to higher up admins or staff members if they need to, and it means we're much more efficient, hopefully, with dealing with what's to come. You got anything you want to add to that?
I think all the mods present should say hi.
I think they should. Have they got the ability to say hi?
Yeah. I mean, like Scott. Yeah, he's at the top.
Yeah. Anybody else? Hello? Are mods awake? This is where it really shows, you see. See, Becky's there. He's awake. Wow. Cool. Okay, moving on. So, yep, general news. There we go. Loads of new mods. There are still applications outstanding. There are still some people who are still waiting to hear from us. Do not fear. We've not forgotten you. We will be talking to you soon. And of course, we're always looking for talented, passionate people. So if you have what it takes or you want to help out, let us know. Recruitment is now well underway. And as you can see, the team is growing. So anybody who's talented in various different ways, please let us know. And we're going to regret that.
But not just moderators we're looking for. We have some future appointments coming up to the team that adds some skills we're lacking, and hopefully will allow us to do a lot more in the future. But that's all we can say now, for now, because we haven't properly talked to the person involved.
Exactly. We want to prepare them before we just suddenly announce names, but there will be at least another couple coming, and yeah, we'll go from there. So moving on slightly, because I want to keep this one quick today. Arc. So the first thing,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, from last week, bridges are in. Sandy's been showing me some wonderful pictures of things she's managed to do with bridges, so I hope everybody's enjoying the bridges. Has there been anything else in Arc that slipped my net this week?
Yes, there's actually a couple of things which we were supposed to mention last week, but we didn't.
Okay.
So I am just having a look at the notes from 66 because I added them to that. Yes, cross chat, cross cluster, cross server, cross chat with docs and our docs servers.
Yep, I
Now,
remember.
we had a conversation with you all a couple of weeks ago, and we were like, yeah, we think it's a good idea now. Docs is getting busier, servers getting busier. We want to separate out the chat. So docs people can talk about doc stuff and ARC people can talk about ARC stuff. So then we went to do it and suddenly realized that everything that we have in place would cause us a complete nightmare to try and break out and separate the chat, because we then need two bots to run the chat on each cluster. We would need separate channels within Discord, and the perks you get for linking and the benefits of linking would stop working for players either on docs or on the live or on the main cluster, and people would have to relink, which means then perks wouldn't get automatically delivered properly and all sorts of shenanigans starts going on. So cross chat is here to stay. I was always on the fence about splitting it out. I could see pros and I could see cons. But all I can say from this is I think it's a good thing because we have people who play on both sides and provide feedback and support for players on the other cluster. And to be honest, I think it would put a lot of those people off supporting and helping and talking to other people if they then had to start flipping between channels and Discord while they're playing the game. And yeah, it just would cut down a ton of communication.
I'd agree with that.
So technically speaking, it's an absolute freaking nightmare for us to unwind all of that and re-implement it, then get everybody to relink again and just deal with the fallout from it. So sorry, it's not never going to be split unless the developer takes on board some of my suggestions about how to be able to manage multiple clusters. But that's a big job, and there's no incentive for him to do that because he has a perfectly functional plugin. Yeah, we're Dr. Smiley. We're not talking about breaking the cross server chat. We're talking about breaking the chat between our two clusters. We actually have two clusters of servers, one that's 11 maps and one that's 2 maps, and they're both linked. What people are asking was to break the link between those two clusters, and that's something we didn't want to do. Not because we don't want to do it, but because the technical reasons behind it and the way people are used to working on the cluster would make it a nightmare for us to manage and for the players as well. So that's that. The bridges piece, we've added the new mod, bridges. Everybody's been playing with it. I want some feedback on it. What do people think? Doesn't have to be now. Just pop it in the ARC feedback. I want to know. I had a little play with it. I quite enjoyed some aspects of it. Other aspects, meh. So I think it removes the need for lots of structures and lots of structure spam. Bridge make Bob sad because Bridge no work on Turtle.
What if you had 2 turtles, Bob?
I'm pretty sure you can't link them together. It just won't lock onto it.
What about a very stretched turtle? Or platform, build across turtle, bridge across turtle. I don't know. I'm sure I can get a bridge on a turtle at some point. Easy. Just have it
If
hanging off the
you
back.
do the tech bridges work? I'm guessing they don't lock on the other end.
Yeah. See?
We built a docking platform for a raft that we built, and it had guide like pillars, so you drive the raft in. You couldn't get it off center, and then once it was docked, you wouldn't actually know the raft was there till you backed it back out again. It was all like one seamless building.
That was pretty cool, actually.
But anyway, so
Yes.
as we said last week, anything development wise is on hold for Arc at the moment. That's not a long term thing. It's just while we're sorting things out. With all the new moderators coming on board, with Rust launching on Thursday at 7 p.m. in case anyone didn't know that, with the Conan server also taking off. We've had a massive reorganization of Discord in the background, so you guys won't see this, but we've got like 3 new sections in there for moderators, admins, and staff, and there's so much happening behind the scenes. We just need to put a few things on pause while we get our house in order, and then we can move forward a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Especially with all the new team members, it's going to mean that hopefully myself and Nani can focus, and Cube can focus more on delivering the content for you guys, so you've got stuff to play and enjoy.
Yes. Exactly. Cube.
What's next on the radar then?
Okay, so if there's nothing docks, I'll just double check there's nothing docks, is there?
The only thing docks that is outstanding at the moment is the supply drops
supply
not coming
crates.
down on the center. Yeah.
So, but again, after the first,
that's
when things have massively gone to the way, we can get that on test and we can sort out
yeah,
something for that.
figure out what's going on there.
Yeah.
So actually, what I'd like to do, and I think this is something we'll make a feature of each week, maybe, is just quickly run through the list of known issues with the particular games that we're hosting, or things that you should be aware of. I think that might be a good idea. So, because probably I almost guarantee nobody reads the known issues section in the art support channel, I'll quickly run through the list. Industrial cookers in the trading posts cannot be accessed. Releasing a basilisk on foundations will cause it to burrow under the floor below them, so you'll then have to tear up your house to get it back. Please don't do that. Pulling more than 100 element to a hover skiff. Anything over 100, you will lose, it will disappear, and it will not be refunded. Beer barrels can't use water from any water tank based object of any sort, so you have to connect them to intakes or pipes. Crystal magmasaur eggs, when hatched, may cause the baby to spawn below the world and disappear. So don't hatch them, beat them over the head, knock them out, and tame them. Storing your dung beetles in cages or small confined spaces, they will escape. Give them plenty of space and solid ground. Awesome spyglass is not always reliable, detecting untamable dinosaurs, especially crystal wyvern heirs, and also may report unreliable amounts with passive tames. That one is just reported to the mod author, but seeing as Awesome Spyglass hasn't been updated in 2 years now, I don't think that's ever going to get changed, because you'd have to hard code for each individual exception. Might be a pain in the what's it. I know the way it's done at the moment, it's done off tags and stuff like that. So if the dino wasn't created with the correct information on it, then it'll just pull the wrong info. Sanguine elixir. Using that will prevent you from soul trapping it. That's the new elixir from the bat on Fjordjaw. There's an exploit that's related to that and soul trapping. That's why it's currently disabled. I know it's a pain in the ass and people want to use that elixir. But until Dino Storage is updated, we can't re-enable that. I know Lethal, the author of Dino Storage, has been exceptionally busy recently. He's normally really good with updates, and he has implemented a couple of suggestions into his mod that we've made in the past. But real life is catching up with him. Other than that, we don't have any other known issues that we're tracking on Arc.
Okay.
So I think that wraps up Arc quite nicely.
Cool, yeah. So 7 days then. Let's have a talk about 7 days. So obviously from tomorrow morning, maintenance, the last of the 7-day servers is going to be taken down. As we've stated last week and been talking to a few people individually over the past few weeks, still willing to give it a go and try and get Darkness back online, but not until they at least drop A21 and sort out a lot of the things in the background that are broken and causing us merry hell. Without them, it's not really manageable. We need the ability to restart the servers at least. Some of the other functionality we had was cool, but we'll take a look at that later on when we've had a chance to look at the new builds and see exactly where they've gone with it. It's a shame, but that's something to note from tomorrow. 7 days will be down for tomorrow. However, replacing 7 days as from tomorrow, and also leading on to the next bit of news we've got, Rust is also launching on the 1st. So, again, as many people as possible, please, if you're interested in Rust, 7 p.m. UK or as close to that as we can get whenever they release the patch that does the full wipe. We're going to be going live with Rust. There's going to be some marketing going out. There's going to be some advertisements going out. But if we can snowball it on the first day, we will love you immensely. So if you're interested, please, 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 would love to see you on 7 p.m. on the 1st. It will be amazing. We've got some good stuff coming up. So show some support if you can. That would be amazing. Love you all. Leading on to another bit of interesting news we've had for Rust. Would also like to thank one of our players, Cannabis, who's very kindly wrote us a plugin to make moderating way easier from Discord. So the new set of moderators we have don't have to be sitting in game all day. We don't want people to burn out doing mod jobs. So there's some nice channels just to monitor chat and stuff like that, and you can issue your commands and things easily from Discord now. So thank you very, very much to Cannabis. He's also on the waiting list of mods and admins to apply. So hopefully some really, really cool stuff coming soon. We're going to get super customizable on Rust, and I think we've got some really cool stuff planned. So, more good news then. Conan has got a section this week as well, because there's quite a lot going to be going on from tomorrow as well. Conan's been doing really, really well. There must be 20 players on there individually now, easily, just from literally our audience of people. Everybody seems to be having a great time. So news for Conan. Tomorrow morning, as discussed in the Conan chat channels, Decay is going to be turned on from tomorrow. So what does this mean for you in Conan when we turn Decay on? So 14 days is going to be the baseline. You have to log in once every 14 days and interact in part with your base. So the way this works, everything has to be on Foundations. Anything not on Foundations will be caught by the equivalent of what we have in Arc, which is Fast Decay. So make sure all of your stuff is on Foundations. You've had at least a week to do this now that I've been warned about. Make sure those Foundations are attached to your main structure. Whether that be your house, your pen, your compound, your walls, everything needs to be touching. So that then makes a massive, great big clustered object. Whenever you touch that object, it resets your timers. Now, unlike Arc, this doesn't work the same way. So if you've got multiple buildings, or you've got little bridges out in the wild, maybe map rooms, I know Krusty's got a few all over the place, all that stuff is going to have to be touched regularly within 14 days. And Conan also has this, the smaller the building until it hits, I can't think of the exact number. Does anybody know the exact number that it classes as full decay? It's something around the region of 100 objects, isn't it? Something like that. So the smaller your little buildings are, you won't get full benefit of decay. So just until we've had time to tune things And until we've all inspected what's going on, nothing's going to go bang straight away because everyone's obviously got all their stuff on foundations now. But keep your eye on your stuff, feedback lots, and we'll see where we go. It is going to mean some spots open up from people that have started and then disappeared, haven't maybe moved on. So stuff that's out there that's annoying people at the moment will get cleared up really quickly. So what else have we got? I know we've got other stuff. Thralls as well. Some changes to thralls. So after doing a lot of reading, talking to a few people who've got more experience, thralls are going to be set to a limit of 70 per clan. This is also going to go in tomorrow at downtime. With an extra 5 thrall limits per person in clan. We have 6-player clans, which means if you fill your clan, you have a total of 100 tames and thralls, which you can't go above. If you do go above, they get decayed very, very quickly, so be careful. This is the limit that Official uses, and that their devs and that are recommending for both a stable server, because obviously we can go above 100, but they recommend 100 no more for a stable server, and enough thralls to actually get the job done if you're getting the high-end purges in the north. So remember those numbers, 70 plus 5 per clan. Make sure all your stuff is on foundations. Make sure your bases are all connected together so you don't get hit by the fast decay. And one last thing for Conan this week, all Emberlight buildings such as taming pens and stuff like that, as mentioned in Conan chat the other day, can now be picked up. I know it was a pain in the backside having to rebuild your gazelle pens and things like that whenever you wanted to move them around. You can now do that. On top of that, only last thing I've got really for Conan this week is the new expansion is earmarked to drop on the 1st. There's been a lot of talk amongst the Conan community about will it wipe, won't it wipe? And the answer is that literally from the horse's mouth right now is we don't know. On the 1st, obviously a lot's going to change. It's a big game overhaul. If they've made changes to the maps, that could cause that. If they've made changes that cause some of the bigger mods to wreck, that could cause that. But pointless discussing it and debating what we should and shouldn't do now because we literally don't know until they drop it.
So, my question,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly is Conan about for those who've never played it?
What is Conan about? So Conan is kind of a story-driven, third-person hack and slash, very similar to Ark. Its building's very cool. You have talent trees exactly the same as you have in something like WoW, but they're a little bit more thought out. You have feats, which are comparable to your engrams and Ark, so you have to learn the things that you build, exactly the same. We've all seen it before. And you make your way through a sort of hostile desert area, fighting everything that comes in front of you. There's bosses, there's mythical lore, there's gods, there's about to be magic in the new expansion. There's a ton of stuff. If you like dungeon running and WoW, you're going to love this because there's some nice dungeons. There's some nice world bosses to kill and conquer. Trading started now. A lot of people are trading things because people have got too much and what. So it's really starting to take off. There's quite a few of us streaming most nights now. So if you do happen to fancy a look or don't know what you're looking at, come and have a lecture at what we're doing at night and see what you think. It's a cool game. And yes, there are naked bodies everywhere in Conan. So I think that's it for the gaming side of things this week. Unless you have anything you want to
add? No, I don't think. We did have some conversation about possibly opening up Conan because they've got a big event coming up.
They have indeed. Do we have anybody in chat who wanted to play Conan but can't for one reason or another that would be interested in having an open Conan server? I know Prom did say he was going to talk to a few of his friends to see if they wanted to come over and play.
Well, they were going to do. Were they giving away the base game for free on the launch of the new DLC? Is that what the plan was?
I honestly don't know.
Can anyone confirm that in chat? Because they're launching the Sorcery DLC, big launch for them, version 3 of Conan. And I believe they were going to do some promotion on Steam.
While we are looking that up, though, can we enable Cube for voice?
Oh, we can indeed.
As we are now 2 days away from the official launch of Rust.
Cube now has voice.
Hello, Cube. Cube, are you muted, or do you not have voice?
I was.
There
Hello.
he is. How are you doing?
Good. Quite a turnout.
Yes, we're not doing too bad today.
I think they're all here to hear about Rust.
Of course they are. They're all here to hear exactly about Rust and what is the Rust experience entailing in 2 days' time.
I would be too. 2 days time, you guys are gonna have the best game in the world right at your fingertips.
Tell us why Rust is so good then. Why are you so passionate about Rust, and what is it that totally gets you excited?
You know, I actually had my friend ask me that earlier today, and I was telling him, and I was like, shit, I gotta take down notes.
You're prepped then. Excellent.
I am prepped. Yes. So, I want to talk to you guys for a few minutes about Rust. Knowing that you guys come from a background of PvE games like Ark, 7 Days, Minecraft. Just gonna touch a little bit about the things you do in those games that we can do in Rust. In Ark, you build a home, you decorate it, you design it the way you like. You can make it any way you want. The same goes for Rust. In 7 Days, where you build fortified bases out of supermarkets, I guess. You build walls and spikes and defend yourself. That's exactly what you do in Rust. And the same goes for Minecraft, where you run around exploring the procedurally generated map. All the different POIs. We got that in Rust too. So in Rust, we've got dozens of decoration items, dozens and dozens. There's so much stuff you can do in Rust. You can make your home as cozy as you like. There's a lot of activities to get involved inside your base. You can hoard loot. You can farm with plants. There's like crossbreeding. You look at genetics of plants and you can breed them to favor different traits and stuff. There's a lot of stuff there. There's electrical systems. If you guys like killing an evening, just figuring out the circuit if you want. You can power your defenses with those circuits. And that's just the stuff you can do inside the base. Outside, there's activities like raiding, PvP, PvE, exploring. There's a lot of detailed, huge monuments in Rust. And there's puzzles to do, platforms, looting, and more PvE and PvP. I'm not even going to mention the side activities you can do, like the different modes of transportation. You name it, we got it. There's room for competition, and there's also room for community. This game is packed with things to do, so there's a lot you can go and get into in Rust.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, I do know there is one concern that a lot of you guys might have. It's a big turnout for a couple of you that I already know, and that is the wipe system. It's foreign to a lot of you. I get it. Seriously, it's a big turnoff to have your stuff disappear after a week, which is how we will be doing it. We're gonna wipe it every week, but don't look at it like getting rid of your progress. It's just a new opportunity. Every week you can join, you can take off time from Rust and come back any week, and you'll still be in the same level playing field as everyone else. It's gonna be it's gonna force you to embrace a competitive mindset, but I mean that in the friendliest of ways. You compete with others to build your base faster, to explore different places faster, build up your loot. So it's a different style of gameplay, and I hope you all give it a shot because this Thursday I want to see as many numbers as we can get, and we're gonna have players from outside the server and inside, so it's gonna be a lot to take in, and I hope you guys have fun. We admins will be here daily to help you guys. Well, at the beginning we're gonna be here 24/7 so that you guys can get as much guidance and answer all your questions and take all your feedback anything you guys need, we're gonna be here for a lot of the time. And I hope you guys show up. Have fun.
It
I'm
is
looking
going to be
forward to
so
it. Very
cool. Yeah,
excited.
it's exciting now. It is.
Yeah. That's all I
Thank
had to
you,
say.
then.
Thank you.
You really did take
I
notes.
think
I
yeah,
did.
that was really good. Just to let you guys know, we got some information through from Scorp in chat. So Conan Exiles will be free to play from the 1st to the 8th of September, coinciding with our Rust launch as well. um, so what I'm thinking, Jesus, I don't know. We'll discuss it.
Are you thinking going public on the 1st, really?
Yeah, see how many people come in to play. That's
I mean,
kind of it.
we can take the password off from
Yeah.
essentially probably tomorrow when we do the maintenance and see how that goes. And if we pick up a lot in that free week, then great. But yeah, we can discuss. We're flexible. We can do that.
Yeah, let's have a little chat and we'll figure out what we're going to do. We've got a lot on, and our main focus is Rust, so
Totally.
we'll see.
Now, before we wrap up, Krusty mentioned a few minutes ago about and getting your lovely decorated bases blown up very quickly. That isn't actually as bad as you think. Once you've got a tool cupboard up and your base is kind of hardened and you've put your walls on the right way round, it actually takes a fair bit to get through a base. So it is totally a feasible thing to lock yourself away and do a load of stuff and then come back and still find the thing standing. You just have to build it and be efficient. And I know a lot of you guys absolutely love the efficient grind. That is basically what Rust is. It's knowing how to be efficient, getting stuff up before anybody else, and becoming an impenetrable little turtle. You wanted that, Bob? It's for you as well. Turtles.
Turtles everywhere.
But yeah, it isn't just going to be a case of you log on the next day and everybody blows your base up. You need explosives. You need to be top tier and sort of on your best behavior and grinding to get that sort of level very quickly. Or am I completely out of whack there, Cube? You know better than me. He's gone again.
I don't think no. I don't think you are. You got to be with the C4 on the rockets before you're going to get through some decent defenses, and
yes.
even then it'll take plenty of time. You get the thing hooked up to your phone as well. It'll warn you. Are there alliances on Rust? No. It's called solos, duos, or trios. Maximum 3 players per clan. Teaming is not allowed.
So long as you're clanned, team of 3. That's it. But yes, okay, Tom. You'll never let me. Yeah. It didn't exist. You have no proof. It didn't happen.
So I think that just about wraps it up for this week. Short and sweet. Lots going on. Do we have any questions before we disappear? Questions in general in the chat in the channel.
We do indeed.
Give you a few minutes. I'm currently digging through some other stuff.
That's an answer, Tom. That's not a question. For Drav, yes. We're waiting on bated breath now for Dr. Smiley's question. Here we go.
Yeah. Yes. If you see anybody that has a massive base with hundreds of dinos out, all doing nothing, just pop it in the Lost and Found channel along with some CCC coordinates, and an admin or a member of staff will be along, and they will scoop up all their lovely dinos for them and drown them in a river. I mean, put them in a soul terminal. The Lost and Found channel is for reporting not only lost and found dinos, but structures that need cleaning up, bases that are kind of causing issues and stuff like that.
How many allowed out? The current allowed out number of dinosaurs, I think, is what, 150?
Yeah, it's 150, but we have said to people in the past, if you don't need your dinos out or they're not doing anything, just put them away, store them in a soul terminal. They'd be much safer there than they would be sitting out in your base. We did have an overhaul of limits and stuff when FuelJoy came out, and we did discuss lowering the limit to 100.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of negative feedback about that, especially around the mid-game breeders.
But there's another thing I'll add to that as well, as I notice it a lot. Those big light up flowers, they will also crucify your FPS if people use a lot of them, and the tendency is that people are at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful with how much of that stuff you use, and if you don't use your dinosaurs, yes, please put them away.
What I would say is the light up flowers caused a problem because of the shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
So shadows in a game are possibly one of the biggest causes of highest frame rate impact possible. So I always run around with my shadows on medium. I got a 3080 overclock thing in this, and I still put the shadows on medium.
Mm-hmm.
I'll run like I got enough RAM to run textures on Epic and all that stuff, but shadows, they just crucify your frames, especially if you're playing at anything higher than 1080p.
It's the sweet spot. That's what it is. Now, oddly, Conan's not too bad. I've actually got full epic on Conan.
Yeah, Conan, I can handle everything cranked to the max.
Orc, however, melty.
Any other questions before we call it an evening and we clock off 40 minutes in?
I have fixed the fan now, Krusty. That was the repaste to the GPU I did the other day. It was pretty much melted. So that's now fixed.
Yeah, for those of you that don't realise it, get out. You buy a GPU, and 2 years down the line, and suddenly you're not getting as good a performance as you had. Yeah, okay, reformatting your PC, reinstalling Windows, getting a faster hard drive, getting a better processor could help. But after, say, 2 years or 3 years of solid use, when people couldn't replace their graphics cards because of COVID, a lot of people are holding on to hardware a lot longer than they would normally. And these things do actually need their thermal paste replacing.
They do indeed.
You have a hot summer and you cook your graphics cards, you play a lot more games because you were stuck indoors. The paste will have just dried up. It will be just a pasty mess. So it's always worth considering cleaning out your graphics cards, your fans, your heat sinks, and just repasting them.
Give them a good blowing.
Even now, yeah, even now they're still pretty expensive, and
Pretty expensive. And you buy a car for what it costs to buy a modern graphics card.
I think a modern graphics card uses more power than a car.
Probably.
Okay, any more? Any more? I think we'll call it there then.
We will indeed. So that said, then,
Take us out, Captain.
we have been the Wicked Ninjas. You have all been awesome. We hope to see you on the first. Thank you, and see you all next week.
Goodbye.
Toodles. I'm going to record all of your waves this week. Yay. Bye, Tula.
What roundtable number was that?
That was 67.